Hey, hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome back to another movie review. Today I'm gonna be reviewing Thor Love and Thunder, and as usual I'm quickly gonna go through the story of this movie to tell you in short what this movie is all about. Then I'm gonna share my own opinions and thoughts about this movie, so in case you didn't watch it, one big spoiler alert across the screen, and yeah, just click away from this video and come back after you watch a movie if you want to, guys. If you don't want to, you don't have to, it's totally okay. But if you really are interested in my opinions and thoughts about this movie right now, then stay with me till the end of this video and let's get started. Alright guys, Thor Love and Thunder is a movie that's been released in 2022, and this is yet another Marvel movie from Marvel comic books, so it's a superhero movie and it's fourth Thor standalone movie in the franchise. And the story of this movie starts off by showing this main villain called Gore walking through the desert with his dying daughter. They're both dying from thirst and hunger, and Gore is asking God for help. There is some sort of God that he believes in, and he's asking him for water, food, whatever he can do just to help him out and to help his daughter survive. And unfortunately, God doesn't hear his prayers, and his daughter dies in his arms. And shortly after that, he is being visited by this god. He is accepted into this kingdom, and he asks God why he didn't help him. And that god starts to mock him and make fun of him. And Gore gets very disappointed in this god because he's been loyal to him his whole life, and he's the last of his followers, and God also mocks him for that, and he just basically treats him like trash. And then there is the sword on the ground next to this dead knight, and that sword is basically a god killer. That's how it's called, and he calls to Gore, and while this god is now holding Gore for his neck because Gore insulted him and said that he is not his god and that he disappointed him and all that. He takes the sword from the ground and shoves it right through this god's neck and kills his first god. And then after that, he just swears that he's gonna kill all the gods. And that's where the movie cuts to the scene of Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy doing their own stuff. Thor is back in shape. He's not fat anymore since Avengers Endgame. He was very fat in Avengers Endgame, and now he's all muscular and in shape again. He worked out a lot. There is some comedical parts about that, and then there's this scene where Thor is helping Guardians of the Galaxy save some planet from invaders, and there is some more comedy going on. And then after that, things start to get serious. Jane shows up, Jane Foster, which was the only real Thor's love from the first two movies. If you watched the first two movies, Thor movies, you know that Jane Foster and Thor were in love, and they broke up, and then Thor joined the Avengers and all that. She unfortunately, Jane, she has a cancer in fourth stage, which is the final stage, and she doesn't know how to treat it, how to cure it, and she starts to believe in Norse mythology, and she thinks of Thor, and she finds out that Mjolnir can basically help her heal the cancer, and she believes that the power of Mjolnir will help her out. And she goes to this Disneyland park or whatever, like museum park, where they keep the shattered Mjolnir that Hela destroyed in Thor Ragnarok when she was fighting with Thor. And Mjolnir kinda calls to Jane and comes back together and gives her the power, so she now becomes the female Thor. And while fighting Gore, at one point, there is this village where Asgardians live, since the Asgard was completely destroyed in Thor Ragnarok. Asgardians now live in this village, and Gore attacks the village, and Thor rushes there to defend it, and he realizes now that this guy wants to kill him. and that he's going to slay all the gods because he's angry at the gods and doesn't believe in them anymore, and he believes that all gods should die. Uh, Basically, that's where Jane shows up with Mjolnir. She kicks some ass, and her and Thor are reunited in the most cringiest way possible. And for the rest of the movie, they are together fighting and, trying to fall in love with each other again. And they're fighting Gore and trying to stop him from his evil plan to kill all the gods and kill Thor as well, since he's also God of Thunder. And that's pretty much the whole movie. And this movie was total fucking disappointment to me. Uh, Damn, this was the worst Thor movie in the whole franchise. That's literally the whole story of the movie in short, and it sucks so badly. They failed to portray anything good out of this movie simply because Marvel movies have became the field for advertisement of LGBTQ and feminist bullshittery, and that's literally what this movie has to offer. That's literally what this movie is trying to show you. Like, when there is a chemistry going on between Thor and Jane, it feels good for a moment. They're reunited again. They're trying to fall in love. You're trying to witness some chemistry between them, and then one of the characters has to speak about some gay bullshit, or like LGBTQ bullshit has to be mentioned in some way and portrayed in some way, and just movie couldn't go without that. Like, what the fuck? When did Marvel turn into that? Like, what's going on? This was fucking bullshit. It was so irritating, and they literally portrayed Jane as a powerful female character who literally has the exact same powers as Thor, wears the exact same fucking armor as Thor. She literally stole everything from Thor, and now she's like a female Thor. It's so cringy. It is so stupid. No one ever asked for this. The movie was complete waste of time, in my opinion. I mean, CGI was fun. Action sequences were fun until the end. At the end, Thor is trying to save these kids that were taken from Asgard by Gore as the bait, so he has to come after him because he needs his axe to open this portal to this internal being that can grant you a wish. And Gore's plan was, to destroy all the gods to become the most powerful, but in the end he turns out to be good and wishes for his daughter to come back to life, but he dies, and his daughter is now back alive. Jane also dies at the end of the movie, and now Thor is a father to the guy that tried to kill him, and he is trying to raise that girl as his own daughter in the most cringiest possible way. God damn. They portrayed everything about this movie so badly. This movie went rock fucking bottom. There is nothing serious at all about this movie. It didn't even feel like a Thor movie. If I go watch Thor and Thor Dark World, it's completely different atmosphere. It's the same actor. It's Chris Hemsworth in all four movies. And actors are the same, but the script sucks. It's not the actors' fault. Actors did a great job. They just did what they asked for them. And the script and director of the movie, they just fucking missed everything that was good about the Thor movies. And I am afraid where Marvel is going with these fucking movies and phase 4 of their movies. It is fucking bullshit, unfortunately. I also heard that She-Hulk came out. I've seen it, and I didn't watch the She-Hulk even though Daredevil shows up in She-Hulk and Daredevil is my favorite superhero. But I'm not planning on watching that because I know it's fucking feminist, cringy bullshittery. I'm not planning on wasting my time watching that. I expected at least something from the Thor movie, but it's turned out even worse, I'd say, than She-Hulk. This is fucking bullshit. The fight scenes at the end where he just gives these kids power, he's like fighting these monsters that comes from shadows that Gore can create. And like Thor has to go there and be a hero, fight these monsters, he's trying really hard. And then at the end of the movie, he just comes and gives kids, he shares his powers with these kids, and kids just go and kick these monsters' ass, and they like literally never been in a fight or whatever. Because they're Asgardian kids, no, it's fucking cringe. It is cringy to the core. It's bad. Nobody wanted that. Nobody asked for that. Nobody wanted to see that. And like the final scene where he's portrayed like raising the villain's daughter is like it's the cringiest ever. The villain actually had so much potential. He had a good point why he wanted to kill the gods. He was disappointed by the gods. The love story had so much potential between Jane and Thor again. There was so great potential in the script. There was so many great ways they could have turned this movie. But no, they decide to make the fucking kindergarten for like retarded kids that you want to be forced with femininity and LGBTQ community bullshit. Like that's what this movie does to you. I feel like this movie was made for retarded kids to tell them that it's okay to be gay, it's okay to be lesbian, it's fine. It's good. You should do that, kids. What the fuck, man? Stop. Just stop. For the love of God, stop doing that to Marvel heroes and Marvel movies. It's nothing like that in the comics. Who the fuck thought this is going to be a good idea? I fucking hated it. I hated almost every second of this movie. Thor, Love and Thunder, it's terrible movie. It is down core terrible movie. There is almost nothing enjoyable about it. It's incomparable to first two Thor movies. I mean, Ragnarok was kinda okay. There was a comedical parts that I enjoyed. They lean more on the comedy in the Ragnarok, but it was a reasonable comedy. There was no this feministic LGBTQ community bullshit. While in Love and Thunder, it's fucking retarded, bro. Like, who the fuck allowed this? I don't know, but it's terrible. And this movie is complete waste of time. Don't watch it. It's a bad movie, in my opinion. Go watch whatever else. I think it's gonna be better than this movie. It's just not a Thor movie, in my opinion, and you should avoid it. And that's it. I got no words anymore for this movie. I can literally just talk trash about it. I can't find a single good thing to say about this movie. When I actually think deeper about it, I can't find anything enjoyable or great about this movie that I can say, okay, yes, great, I actually like that. Not a single thing. Because every time I found something that I thought I'm gonna like about this movie, it was thrown down in the water by the feministic and LGBT community bullshit. Literally, when the fuck did Marvel movies became the advertisement for a field for such stuff? It's terrible. I hate it. Stop doing that, please. That's it for this movie review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then go ahead and leave a like, share, comment, or subscribe if you want to, guys. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's totally okay. You can also join my Chris Facebook group. A link is down below in the description. I post all kind of stuff over there. So join if you want. If you don't want to, again, you don't have to. It's totally fine. And thanks for watching, guys. I love you. I appreciate all of your support and everything you've done for me and my channel so far. You're amazing. And I'll definitely see you in the next videos. Chris out.